Welcome back. It's so good to see you, to talk to you. It's been quite a while since I put out any content, really. I haven't posted any videos or posted any podcast episodes or sent emails or been on social media or really did much of anything. And if you've listened to me at all before, you know that I'm not really a big fan of social media, but I do it because I want to be able to connect with you. But I just wasn't in the mood to make anything. And that sounds just kind of lazy, but which maybe it is. But the truth is that I've just been having a really hard time lately, like mentally, emotionally, and I'm just being honest about that because I feel like it's something that so many of us struggle with is our mental health and our emotional health. And it's just been, especially this last year, but the last few years, several years, where I just feel like I'm walking on a treadmill and I'm going and I'm doing all the things, but I'm just not getting anywhere. And that's been really just kind of draining on me. It's just been really draining. And I haven't really felt creative. I haven't felt like I would be helpful to other people if I was so lost, which I don't know if that's really true or not, but that's just how I felt. Um, but anyhow, I realized that that's probably not a good reason just to stop doing the thing that for me gave me a lot of purpose and that is just being able to encourage other people, even if I'm struggling myself. I think it's okay to still try to encourage people if you're struggling. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. And nothing is terrible. Nothing is really awful that's going on. And actually, a lot of times I really feel guilty for being depressed, I guess, or being sad about certain things, just because you know, as they say, there's always somebody out there who has it worse than you, which is true. Um, but I think it's hard to maybe understand uh, someone else's perspective because the only one that we really have is our own. So, I think it's okay to acknowledge uh, when we feel beat down by life, um, whatever that means for you, whatever it is that you're going through. I think being you know, I guess one's own depression doesn't necessarily need to be validated by other people. So anyway, that's that's what's been going on. That's where I've been, and then it's also been just a lot of like logistical things. Like obviously, I'm in a new space right now, so I'm in the process of moving. I am selling my house. I just decided that it was too much, and I was working so much that the time that I actually was home, all I was doing was cleaning, really. And it just wasn't enjoyable. And it was expensive because I lived alone and I didn't have a roommate or anything. So it just, it was one of those things that I feel like society tries to tell us we should do certain things or gives us the idea that uh, doing something will make us happy. And in my mind, before, my thought was, well, if I buy this house, then I'm really going to feel accomplished and that's going to make me happy. I guess in my subconscious, that's probably uh, what I was thinking. But that didn't really happen. And I guess the blessing is that, we can always change our mind. And that's what I did. I changed my mind. And, and yeah, now I'm somewhere else and I've got a little setup going on here, this little podcast area that I made and this sign that I bought, I don't even know how long ago, maybe like a year ago, and I just hadn't put it up, but I went ahead and put it up. So I think it looks pretty cute. Um, but anyway, so yeah, so this is where I'm going to be making videos from now on. And I've been also trying to decide, do I want to go back to like the podcast style where it's just kind of like this, like me talking and then um posting that as a podcast episode, or if I want to make like YouTube videos specifically for YouTube with like editing and all that stuff. And I think for me, the more authentic thing is just kind of to do this, just to, you know, talk and record it, obviously, but then also have the video so that if you want to watch it, you can watch it as well. So but it's really not about me, it's about you. So if you prefer this type of format or you would rather have like videos with a little bit more editing or something like that, then just let me know. Feel free to leave a comment and just let me know what your preference is. I'm happy to adjust because this is, like I said, this is for you. I mean, it's for me too. It's, you know, I can't lie. It is therapeutic to be able to just talk.
I apologize. I realized that the whole beginning of this video, the audio was coming from my headphones that I had in and not the actual microphone, so that's why it probably sounds terrible. But I also don't feel like re-recording the whole beginning of this. So we're just going to keep it moving. And that's just kind of how I've been living life lately. You know, it's like people always say take one step at a time, one day at a time, that kind of thing. But that's literally how I'm managing everything right now. I'm just taking it one day, one moment, one decision at a time. And that's just how I've been getting through. And thinking about the future of this podcast channel, etc. I do want to still talk about breakups and relationships. Obviously, I think it's such a universal pain that we all have at some point or another in our lives. And I feel good knowing that it's bringing comfort to people to be able to talk about those sort of things and hear about those sort of things. But I also want to be able to talk about other difficult things as well. And just life is hard, man. This just sounds like probably so depressing. I promise you, like I'm okay. I'm really okay. But yeah, I've just had a lot of stuff on my mind lately, and I don't know if it's because now I do hospice primarily now. I was working in ICU for the last several years, but now I do just hospice, and with that, I do a lot of home visits, and I do visits at nursing homes. So I'm in the car a lot. And you know, I listen to podcasts, I listen to books, I'll listen to music, but it's just a lot of thinking time. So I spend a lot of time thinking about all kinds of things. But anyway, so that was one of them. It's like, what do I want to do with this platform that I have? Not to sound like, look at my platform, but you know, whatever. I don't know. But there are some people out there that listen to me. If you're one of them and you're still here from way back in the beginning, like, I can't tell you how much I love you and I thank you. But anyhow, so I want to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So you can always email me, hello@theheartbreaknurse.com, and you can ask questions. You can, you know, bring up a subject that you want discussed. One thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I'm not sure if this has a lot to do with the fact that I am working in end of life care now, which, you know, during the pandemic, we saw a lot of that. And I was having the same kind of thoughts, like looking at life in the rear view. And if I were at the end of my life, what would I be glad that I did? What would I wish that I had done differently? I think about that stuff a lot now. And I guess it may seem kind of dark or morbid or whatever, but I don't think so, because I think when you deal with death, causes you to think about how you want to live. Yeah, that's what I want to say. It causes you to think about how you want to live and what you want to do with your life and what you want to make of yourself in this life. And it's so interesting to me because we don't know when this life is over what's next. I have a very strong faith, so I believe in, the afterlife and heaven and all of those things. But I also wonder, like, what is our purpose here? Do we each have an individual purpose that we are supposed to fulfill? And maybe we do that, and then that is when we go. It's just interesting to me, and it's something I think about a lot. And I think one of my worst fears is not figuring out what that is, never figuring out what my purpose is, or maybe figuring it out but then never actually fulfilling it. I think that's probably worse in my mind. And I feel like this, I don't know if it's podcasting or whatever, but helping people, serving people in some way is definitely part of that. And honestly, I feel like it's probably, serving people is probably included in everyone's purpose in one way or another. And there is a quote that's like, the point of life isn't to be happy, it's to be useful. And I think that's really true. I think our happiness comes from feeling like we have a purpose and feeling useful. And I think maybe that's been the difficult part for me lately, and maybe why I've been struggling so much is that I don't feel like I'm being as useful as I could be, which maybe that's just in my own head. I don't know, but it's just the way it feels sometimes. And it just bums me out to think like some of us, we just work and work and work and work, and then we die, and that's it. And gosh, this sounds so this sounds so bad, but it's like, these are the things I think about. This is what's going on in my brain as I'm driving around or doing anything really. It's like, is that it? That can't be it. There's got to be more than that. And I think about these people that I know that are older, that they can't retire because they can't afford to. And so they just work and work and work until it's over. And not that, there's nothing wrong with working and having a job. That's not it. But it's almost like we're living to work. And sometimes our work is not aligned with our purpose, or our work doesn't necessarily make us feel useful. And I think that's the thing that really makes people depressed. I mean, not in every situation. Like, you can be depressed for, I suppose, a lot of different reasons, but I don't know. For me anyways, I'll just speak for myself. I feel like that is something that really just weighs me down mentally, is thinking that I'm just gonna exist day in and day out for the rest of my life and not do anything meaningful, or try to and not be able to. So yeah, I suppose that's like really the root of where all this lies. And I don't think I'm alone in this. I feel like a lot of people have these thoughts and these worries, and I don't know, I'm just verbalizing them, as I feel them. And I don't know, maybe I'm just in a funk right now. I'm definitely in a funk, but this is like an extended funk. Like a prolonged funk. But I can't be the only one. I know there's probably many others out there who feel like they're in an extended funk as well. And I feel you. I'm right there with you. I understand. And I think it's possible to get through it. I know it's possible. You know, if you think about the things maybe you were worried about 5 years ago or so, do they even matter now? I don't know. I think life changes all the time, and sometimes, you know, we can have a major turn of events and things get better. And sometimes it's subtly, sometimes it's slowly. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen for me any day now. You know, God, whenever you want to roll up with it, I'm ready. But yeah, it's just been a difficult time lately in terms of uh mental wellness, emotional wellness, and self-care as well. You know, it's something I like to promote a lot, self-care, but I'm not the greatest at it myself. I can't lie. I really can't lie. And I think sometimes those of us that work a lot or are really dedicated to our jobs or our families or whatever, um, we maybe let ourselves go a little bit. And I don't mean just like, you know, appearance wise, but just in every aspect. And I've definitely done that. I've definitely done that myself. And I'm trying to change. I'm doing little things here and there. I actually got a haircut for the first time in like a year, probably. Yeah, that's how just out of it I've been. But anyway, I am happy to be back. I look forward to making some more content. And as they say in High School Musical, we're all in this together. That was really corny. But, anyways, love you. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.